This video is about NPCs. I'm going to be talking about NPCs, how they come about, and their experience. Now, I don't remember myself experiencing the NPC experience. Um, First of all, what is an NPC? An NPC is a non-player character, right? I've seen a lot of videos on this. I'll just describe what I think an NPC is, right? You often hear from other videos that NPCs are soulless, right? They have no soul. They were born with no soul, or they sold their soul, right? I have a different view of this, right? Um, First of all, everyone on this earth has a soul. Everyone that is born on this earth has a soul. Everybody has a spirit. The question is, are you connected to your soul, or are you connected to your spirit, right? Not a lot of us are, right? A lot of people on this earth, in this world, we're born with a soul. We're born with the spirit. Everyone is born with the spirit and the soul. But a lot of people have been disconnected from their soul and their spirit, right? It doesn't make them non-players, right? They're still playing the game, but they are playing the game differently than some of us, right? Again, to me, in my opinion, NPCs, non-player characters, are still playing the game, but they choose to play the game differently, right? Let me track back again. What is an NPC, a non-player character, right? This term comes from playing video games and uh seeing different characters, different players in the game being programmed in a way that is linear, in a way that is predictable, right? So that is what a non-player character is. You hear the term, and it comes from video games, right? So non-player characters have a soul. They have a spirit, right? It's not that they're soulless. Everyone is that is born has a soul, has a spirit. It's just that they've been programmed to live a linear life. They've been programmed to live a predictable life, right? At least that's what they think, that their life is predictable and their life is linear, but life is not linear and life is not predictable. But they've been programmed to live life this way, right? And why do they choose this experience, right? Because all our experience that we experience in this life is chosen, whether unconscious or consciously, it's chosen, right? Why do people choose this path of the NPC path, right? The non-player path, right? They choose this path because they think that this is the easiest path, right? This is the path of least resistance. This is the path of the least obstacles, right? This is a path where everyone else is playing, so it's easy for me to fit in, right? That's why they choose this path, the NPC path, right? Again, this is the NPC. The term NPC comes from the video game community, right? And it has translated into, I've seen it translate into the spiritual community, right? So when we think of life and this with this term NPC, we think of life as a game, right? So people think this is the easiest way to win, right? They think this is the easiest way to win is taking the NPC path, the path that they think is least resistant with the least obstacles, right? And it's easy for you to fit into the game, right? Because a lot of people, most people living in this world are living the NPC path, right? But it's just a chosen experience, right? It's just a chosen experience, and they're still playing the game, right? Again, when we're saying the term NPC, we think life as a game. We think of life as a game, right? You could think of life as a game. I saw the term of NPC, but you think of life as a game when you bring in the term NPC, and it's not that they're non-players. Again, they're playing the game, right? They choose a path that might be um that might seem that it's a non-player thing to do, but they're still part of the game, right? You can't take NPCs are still part of the game. You can't take away the NPC. Then there's the game doesn't exist, right? So they're still, even though they're programmed in a linear, predictable way, they are still part of the game. You can't take away the game. They're still part of the game. They're still playing. They're still playing the game. They're still players. They're still useful players. They're still useful to the universe, to themselves, right? To themselves. When I say to themselves, they're it's a path. The NPC path, the non-player character path, is a path of learning because it's still an experience. Every experience is a learning path. It's a learning experience. Every experience is a learning experience. That's why they chose it unconsciously or consciously. You choose experiences to learn, and you choose it unconsciously or consciously, whether you know it or not, right? So you're still playing the game. You might have been an NPC, right? You might have played the game of being programmed a certain way by the world, right? By the mainstream world, you might have been programmed in a certain way by the mainstream world in a certain way, right? And um, and I guarantee you learned something through it. You might you might have woke up one day and said, "I'm not playing this game anymore." Right? A lot of people wake up from the NPC path and say, "Okay, I'm not playing this game anymore. I'm tired of playing this game because I've been deceived." Not that I've been deceived, more like I learned my lesson through this experience. Right? I learned my lesson through this experience, and I choose not to live this experience anymore. Right? It's all about choosing the experience. Everyone has a choice of choosing the experience, and everyone is a player in a sense. Everyone plays a significant role. NPCs play a significant role, right? So-called NPCs. I don't like the term. Other people like that, but I seen this term um, years back, and I had an experience today where I I witnessed what people would term the NPC behavior, right? And it hit me, right? It hit me to the point where I felt like making a video about it, right? So don't put people down. Don't look at people. Don't look down on people that you consider NPCs, non-player characters. They still have a soul. They still have a spirit. They've just been disconnected. They've been programmed to disconnect from their soul and their spirit. They chose that experience, right? They chose to be disconnected and uh, be, I wouldn't say disconnected. You're always connected to your soul and your spirit, but they chose a path where they 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 want to follow a path of a program where it of a program where life seems linear, life seems more predictable, right? Because you're always connected to soul, you're always connected to spirit. But the difference is NPCs are not aware that they're still living in a spiritual world. They're not aware of their soul, right? Um, yeah. So I'll thank you for making through this video and this video here.